Happy Veterans Day. This is Anthony Glenn checking in with the SITREP podcast where we talk about all things real estate with vets. Let's freaking go, baby.
Let's do it.
I got my man Michael Childs and my man Jerry. Congratulations on getting your first home.
Thank you.
Second home out here in California. All right, man. So let's unpack this whole thing. So how long have you been in the Marine Corps?
Pulling up on 20 years, man. February retires, so home stretch.
February, so 20 years.
Yep.
How's it feel?
It feels great. It flew by, to be honest with you, but it feels great. Great experiences. Met some great people, obviously, such as yourselves, and it's been a ride. But I'm ready for the next phase.
Yeah,
that's
next
awesome.
chapter.
So tell me how you know Michael.
Mutual friend. So one of my closest friends, Manny. Right, Manny Fresh. We call him. Yeah. Every person that guy's introduced me to has been solid as dudes. All the time. So he introduced me to Michael here a few years back, and ever since back then he used to fall asleep on my couch. Right around 9 p.m. in the middle of the party every time. That's what he's known for.
That's my signature move.
Yeah, that was a signature move. And now we're always together. I'm actually training with him through the SkillBridge program right now. Following your guys' footsteps and getting into real estate too. But
that's cool, man. Yeah. So Michael, you sold him a house. What did you sell him a property at?
In Temecula. We bought a property over there. So obviously not we. It's your money, right? But he got a property in Temecula. It was an investment property that he purchased over there. So now he's got some renters in there renting that place out, making some money, passive income coming in.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. Yeah. So how many times have you used your VA loan?
I've used my VA loan twice, right? Aside from obviously the refinance stuff, I used the VA loan twice. This specific one was a conventional because it's investment property, but I was able to do that from my first house that I bought on a VA loan, 12 years ago down in San Diego, and over those 11 years, more than doubled in value. So we were able to sell that last year, take some of that money and put it in on another investment property. And that's aside from the house that I'm living in up in Marietta now, which also it has a casita, right? A little guest house that we rent. So that's some passive income there, and we're just trying to roll that into. My goal is to buy a property every other year, so every 2 years or so for the next 10 years. That's my real retirement.
That's really crazy, man, because usually I don't hear people, believe it or not, less than 5% of the service members utilize their VA entitlement while they're in. Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Very small number.
Now I have a question. To you guys. Michael, tell me what the most difficult part was during this transaction with him being a multiple homeowner. What roadblocks did you see, or did you have to go over, with the exception of the market?
I think the thing that we came in contact that caused us the most trouble was just the finances, kind of unpacking all the finance situation and trying to figure out how we're going to get him approved with money coming in for the casita. We were working on that with the income coming in and just kind of proving everything, and then the amount of money that he was going to put down. But it all worked out in the end, and now he's got his investment property, making some money. He's got some renters. He's doing some good stuff right now.
It was a learning curve to find out that it didn't matter that I had a bunch of money sitting in the bank. That debt to income ratio is what really matters. Yeah. So painting that picture, was it took some doing, but Michael worked his thing. He worked with some good people and some letters that we had to write and show all that. But again, whatever I had in the money didn't really matter. What they want to see is that debt to income ratio and being able to show that I'm going to be able to pay for that property, essentially.
That's actually good, man, because you know what? When we talk to most people, it's usually people buying their first home. But you being a multiple homeowner, what I hear is making adjustments, right?
Yeah.
So basically what you had to do is navigate through the adjustments. Why is that important? Because I know you said that you bought this is your third property. What was the difference between Michael Childs and the other real estate professionals that you work with?
Honestly, so Michael's very good at just keeping you informed through every step, right?
Communication.
That communication piece. Not the other realtors that I've worked with before didn't do that, but a lot of times the data pool had to come from me, right? Hey, what's up with this? Where are we at with that? Where him, I just emails, texts throughout the day, just letting me, every time a pebble moved an inch, he was letting me know that it happened, so that made it a lot easier. Also, he actually, he was a dual agent for this deal, right? So he knew to get us both on the phone together so we could talk about things. That way we weren't going back and forth. He would just get us like, hey, what's a good time for you? This time, whatever, get us all on the phone and we talk about stuff and figure out the next move the whole time.
See, you know what? Listen, y'all, that's a nugget right there. Make sure you're doing business with people you know, like, and trust. And then also make sure that real estate professional knows how to communicate. Michael, I have another question for you.
What you got, brother?
What was the hardest part with working with your brother right here?
Well, you know what? The hardest part, I think, was separating business and personal was the biggest thing. And, when we had conversations, it was more based on friendship. I remember we went to like a trailer park home, and we were in there, and it was like dirt. And I had a suit on, dude, and everybody was driving through, and the dust was getting all on my shoes. And he pulled up on the motorcycle, and all these other people were looking at me like, dude, you know that you're showing this dude the trailer home, right? It was like a crazy duplex or something like that. But I think just separating the business, but just making sure that I could take care of him and the whole time. That was the biggest thing, I think.
Yeah, that's really good, man. What is your why? Why do you do this? Why do you do real estate?
Man, you asked me that the last time too. I love just seeing the end result. Is basically what it kind of do. I feel like, from a teaching perspective, when you see somebody go from, level 1 to level 3, so to speak, right? Mm-hmm. And you can see that look in their eyes, that glimmer of whatever you want to call it, hope or dreams or something coming true. That's magnificent to me. I love seeing stuff like that.
That's cool, man. And for me also, it's the same thing. Every single time I give keys, it's different. It's like every time is the first time. Yeah. That's what it feels like.
I love seeing your videos when you're giving the keys, man. Everybody looks so happy. You see the kids jumping around. It's awesome, man. I love it.
The crazy part about that is that, same with you, right? So real estate professionals, what we've been able to do is the reason why we have service members doing this with us is because I know beyond reasonable doubt that service members care about the clients because we're in their image, right? They're doing the exact same thing or they're going through the same process. So we can kind of relate interpersonally with people that are doing it. And what we also see is the lack of information and knowledge with real estate agents knowing how to navigate through the hardship and the problems, right? So Michael, what prepared you from your first year in real estate to now? What have you learned from this actual contract?
From this one?
Yes.
From an investment standpoint, I learned that I think one of the biggest things, the eye openers for me, was the interest rate. That was going to be higher because it was an investment property. And then going outside of working with VA, a conventional loan, it being different, the terms being different. And then like working through the residential purchase agreement when I'm putting all the numbers in there for putting the down payments and things like that. Like there was a few differences there. So that definitely prepared me for working with people for investment properties in the future.
That's
like
good.
In the beginning, he wanted to do a duplex. He was trying to work some other stuff. And I was able to work some of that stuff and kind of learn that there was multiple meters on the duplexes and stuff like that I didn't know about. So that was another thing too. So I learned quite a bit throughout this transaction. It was good.
And see, that's another thing too. So a lot of real estate professionals will do things or give you advice on something that they've never done. So real estate is so it's always changing, right? So being associated with people who are going to help you as well is important. So seeing that, seeing friends buy properties, that's going to inspire other people. What advice, brother, would you give yourself, let's just say 3 years in the Marine Corps in regard to investing in real estate?
I mean, I bought my first house. I was 26 years old, right? So it wasn't too bad. However, if I could go back to that, corporal coming from Okinawa, I would have found and researched and find a way to get my first property as soon as possible, and that's still the advice that we try to give people now is get in there. It's the water's fine, right? Yeah, it's a hot market and so on and so forth, but so get in there, because in the long term, like I said, I did the math. I was telling Michael about this. I did the math, and when I bought that house, in 2009, my credit score wasn't great. I'd been working on it for a couple of years, right? It wasn't great. So my interest rate, and then at the time, interest rates were higher. So my interest rate was something like a 6.7.
Which was normal back then.
Yeah, it was pretty normal back then.
Normal back then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially for credit score that was like just good enough to get that loan, right? And over the years, obviously my credit score got better, refinanced, so on and so forth. But initially, I bought that property. My mortgage payment was just under $2,500. As I refinanced and my mortgage payment got lower, I kept paying $2,500. Once it got down to, I think the last one, it was like $1,700 or something, at $2,500 for 7 years. Out of the 11 years that we owned that property, for 7 years, it wasn't until I got orders to Paris Island. I decided to leave my family here, but I took that $900 pay cut in BAH. So that was one of the, okay, we're not going to give that extra $500, right?
Yeah.
So for 7 years, $2,500. After that was, $2,000 or whatever. But if you do the math, all that money, every single mortgage payment, when I sold that house, I got every penny back and some. So it's like I got paid to live in that house for 11 years. It's great. It's amazing.
And and that leads me to this also that I want to echo. And then Michael Childs, I'm gonna throw you a layup that you can slam dunk. What I heard is that when you're buying a property, it doesn't matter the fluctuation of the market, right? Because it's an investment property. So whatever it is that you're not getting on it, you get the write-off, and you get the 27 years of depreciation, right?
Yeah.
So with that being said, Michael, can you talk to us a little bit about what type of credit that you need to have in regard to purchasing with the VA loan?
So for a VA loan, there's no minimum credit score. I mean, as long as your finances and everything are working and your debt to income ratio works out, you're good.
Did y'all hear that? There is no minimum credit score. Mortgage professionals, lenders, and big institutions have what they call overlays. A overlay is essentially a rule that the banks put in place to say that we won't lend under this credit score. So if you're working with an institution like that, make sure that you're working with somebody that will be able to look at your portfolio, look at your debt to income ratio, and tell you what you need to do to get a better interest rate, guys. Okay, that's really, really good, Michael. So man, this is really good, man. I don't even know. It's amazing to see, two brothers, right? 3 Marine brothers, right?
Oh yeah.
Both in real estate. You're a real estate investor. You're in the Marine Corps in a position to be an example of what it looks like to have your finances, and that's going to transition you out of the Marine Corps with investment properties that you're cash flowing, right? So that kind of bridges the gap.
Absolutely.
Any other advice? What advice would you give those looking to that are looking to purchase homes today? What advice would you give them?
Like I said, I mean, come on in. The water's fine. It is a scary thing, but to me, it's scary to see people who have waited years and years, never got in the market, and the longer you wait, the more you're gonna end up paying. One more, I'm a statistics guy, right? I'm a numbers guy. One thing that was interesting to me is in 2007, when a lot of homes, those prices dropped a lot. I think national average was something like 28%, right? But I looked up what the average rent was for that time. It barely plateaued. Rent prices did not drop. So what does that tell you? If you buy a home and you're worried about we're in a bubble and they're if the math is right for you now and you buy a home and you can an investment home and you can cash flow now, or just the rent is enough to pay for your mortgage, even if prices do come down on homes, your rent's not going to come down. That doesn't fluctuate the way that home prices do. So if you're in it for the long run, you're still going to be able to pay your mortgage. You're still going to be able to pay that house off, and you're still paying down that property. You're still, like you said, the tax benefits, so on and so forth. Those capital gains, down the road. Like I said, we sold that house, and it was like $360,000 hit my bank account today. I've never even seen that kind of money before.
Hold up, mate, you can't be telling me you coming out with $300,000, man. Well, look, you might get hit over the head in the parking lot, so I could go turn up in Vegas. 300 racks, y'all. Active duty Marine right now getting $300,000 in his bank account by investing in real estate less than 10 years ago. That is freaking crazy. Now, what I heard, and I'm a land this 747 jet right now, man, is that Stop walking around with seeds in your pocket, okay? Put the seed in the ground, okay? Plant the freaking seed. Check this out. Poor people worry about getting paid for their work, right? They want to get paid for their work. Rich people worry about the fruit on the tree, plucking the fruit. Wealthy people plant the trees. The trees are buying the properties, y'all. So get in the game. Stop walking around with seeds in your pocket. Plant it in the freaking ground and reap the benefits from your labor. Man, I'm telling you, this is an outstanding podcast, man. Congratulations on your home.
Thank you.
Hit us up. Hit Michael Childs up. Michael, can you tell the audience how they can reach you, brother?
So I'm all over the place. I'm at my phone number is 619-952-2136. Text, smoke signals, whatever you want to do. Shout me out. I got you. I'll make sure you're taken care of. I can promise you that.
Hey, and Michael, thank you for being a member of the Veteran Homeowners Club. Thank you for advocating for veterans. And hey, man, Anthony Glenn, you can reach me on Clubhouse, Tony Glenn II, and also at Instagram. And follow us, send this information, tag, tweet. We're trying to get this information. Our goal is to get 1,500 veterans in homes 2022. Hey, we're going to freaking do it. Let's freaking go, baby. Hey, man, congratulations, guys. Good job.
All right.
So, we did 100% financing. I'm coming back on the overlays.
I'll be ready.
Okay.
I know I look bad right now, but
Come on, dog. You know, we perform best under stress.
Under stress, yeah.
I had 6 double shots of scotch.
yeah, dang.
But I was lit last night, man. The only reason, I'm going to tell you the reason why I ain't hungover, because I ran this morning. I drank, I got some water and I went running this morning.
Podcast. He's like, okay, let's just stop.
Yeah, Michael was like, hey, my name, I'm like, what? Cut.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
That's why he's like, no, cut.
We got the best houses on the fucking depot.
Absolutely.
But I tell you right now.
See, y'all can get y'all stuff. Y'all can chill. We're about to do our little thing, and then take a break, and then there's a loop. I got a blanket over there too. You need one, brother. But the best thing about being a brother. Hello guys, I made $300,000. I'm like, damn, who is this guy? Who is this guy? That was good, man.
Hey, Jerry, that was good, man. That was good.
Good.
300 now? Less than 10 years?
360 after everything was done. That's after paying the realtor everything.
And taxes, capital gains?
No taxes.
Yeah, if you live in the
lived in
property
it.
3 out of the 5
Yeah,
years.
yeah.
Damn, I should have said that.
Yeah.
No, say that for next.
I should have said that.
Yep.
If you live in the property, I think it's
2 years.
2 years out of the 5 years.
Out of the last 5 years, you got to live there 2 years.
Yeah.
$250,000, $500,000 for a married couple. Yeah.